Hello, this is Dancingbear, your autistic prince, the mad scientist of creative writing.
How do I follow that? Hi, this is Tom, Koala. I'm just the other guy.
We're going to have to find some...
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dyslexic emperor.
Yeah, we'll go with that. So,
Right.
I suppose we have to be honest to our ever faithful listeners.
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
No, we don't. Yeah. For those we peel back the curtain a little bit.
Yeah.
You know. This is actually an episode that we're recording, God knows when, for if just one of us is on holiday, like a spare in our backlog.
Yeah, a
so
backup episode.
Yeah, same content. Or if we make something and it goes down and we're like, nah, I'm not recording again, just bung this up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, same content. But
so
if you're hearing this in 20 years and you're used to old man voices...
Timey-wimey,
Wow.
wibbly-wobbly.
Yes.
That's all I can say.
Oh, I recently watched that, the John Hurt Doctor Who episode.
Yeah.
Why do you speak like children?
I have no idea where he gets this stuff from.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, we were just having a conversation, funnily
very
enough.
intense. Now, I didn't know this, listeners, so Tom was just... Blade exists, everybody. Now, I knew originally he was a Marvel character, but Blade exists in the comic books, in some timelines, in the same universe as Avengers, everybody. Now, maybe it's just me, like I just said to Tom.
Like,
what is going on? That's like Buffy meets the Doctor. In Doctor...
It's
what? Go on.
I get Irvine's point, or Dancingbear, because it's one of them, it's... Your sci-fi meeting your fantasy, meeting your grounded real world stuff. It's weird.
Yeah.
But at the same point, he's not been in the comics for a long time, or rather, very little.
Absolutely.
And Doctor Strange does deal with the supernatural threats. So like I said, you've got Avengers deal with your world problems. You've got street level heroes like Spider-Man and Luke Cage and all that dealing with your more street level. And then Doctor Strange, Moon Knight and all that dealing with your supernatural threats. With your people like Guardians of the Galaxy and Fantastic Four dealing with your spacey threats.
Absolutely. But what I think...
And Blade, it just doesn't fit that you've got one world with mutants, superheroes, vampires now. How is the MCU going to pull this off?
The trouble is, I just gave a very similar argument to Tom, and I'll reiterate it, so, you know, I don't want our listeners to feel alienated. And my argument is, now then... When you create a character or a story or a universe, you will, without realising you do it, any writer will have this, you will apply certain logic into your universe.
Well, yeah, that's a famous, I can't remember who did it, but a famous writer says it's something like your magic system, or whatever you want to call it, you have to have set rules for it, and you always got to stick to it.
I think it might have been George R. R. Martin.
No, I don't think it was. It's your magic.
It might have been J.K.
No, it's a different writer. It's something like, I can't remember the quote. I will have to find it at some point.
But my problem is, maybe this is just the way my mind is wired. Now, to me, Avengers was brilliant because the way they pulled it off, my opinion in the MCU was that you had all these different things going, but the same logic was there. Blade operated in a universe that had a different type of logic. Now, you can't tell me. Now, with Phase 4, there's strong rumours, if it's not been confirmed now, it has been confirmed, that X-Men is going to be part of the MCU. You mean to tell me that the X-Men existed in the same world while all the storylines in Avengers was going on? You couldn't have all them storylines going on one planet, on one Earth. So, I don't know, you take it from there. This is where you are going to have continuity
everyone
errors.
Forgets that the Inhumans are in the MCU.
Yeah, true.
Which originally were shoehorned because they didn't have the rights to the X-Men. So now I think they're getting it, or it's nearly... But Blade has been confirmed. Now, I want to know, has Blade always existed, or is he a byproduct of the famous snap at the end of Endgame?
So they've confirmed that Blade exists in the MCU?
They've confirmed we're getting a movie in 2021.
Oh, and he's going to be part of the MCU?
Yeah.
Whoa! Didn't know any of this.
I'm not sure if it's a series or a movie. I think it's a movie.
See, it's bittersweet for me. I'm loving it, but I'm not.
And it's not Wesley Snipes.
Weird. It has got Wesley.
No, it's not.
sort of goes without saying, to be
Yeah.
honest with you.
Well, I
Like,
mean,
about-
his big.
about
Did you
his
ever see
career.
his big Twitter campaign? Make America Blade again or something.
Oh, wow.
He's like, no, Wesley, fuck off. Pay your taxes.
Oh dear.
Oh.
Anyway, the main theme for this episode, I want to talk more into the MCU because my mind is fucked. Coming to the discovery that all these characters originally in the Marvel comics existed in the same universe. I don't mean to fanboy, but fucking hell, that's a lot of shit going on.
Yeah, that's
in one universe.
But that's what Marvel's always been. They've slowly introduced it, and now you're getting the big meaty
See,
chunk.
the way I had it in my head was all the Avengers and the characters which lies therein existed in one universe. This is how I create order, I suppose. The X-Men had their own storyline. They're in a completely different universe. Deadpool is in the X-Men universe. And I don't know if I've just been MC-unified, but that's how it made sense. And
Yeah,
Blade isn't just in a completely different universe altogether.
But a lot of times, Blade will be hired by people like Doctor Strange to come and help him.
It's
and
good in a way, but yeah.
Deadpool will turn up and he's quite friendly with Well, he enjoys Spider-Man's company. Not sure if Spider-Man enjoys it back.
No.
And like,
But yeah, that's a clusterfuck of things going on.
if they pull it off,
Yeah.
it could be good.
Yeah.
But the thing with vampires in the Marvel universe is they do hide.
Yeah.
They are behind the scenes. They're like, Illuminati levels of you always see them, but you don't know they're there.
Right.
Like
So interesting.
Doctor Strange deals with things that you can't see.
Right. So a bit of speculation
Yeah.
if it hasn't already happened. Imagine if they did a storyline with Blade joined the Avengers. Who would he get on with? Who won't he get on with? And
See,
why?
I don't know.
Do you know what I mean? I could see him clashing with Captain America. I don't know why. But something tells me he wouldn't see eye to eye with Captain America. I don't know. See, even that is weird. Iron Man exists. The smugness of Tony Stark exists in the same world as vampires. Do you understand why I'm a bit...
Yeah, it's
weird. It is weird.
So and how many muggins has Spider-Man stopped, and how many of them were just a vampire?
I think I've already found potentially a continuity error just by thinking this through. Tony Stark exists in a world where he knows everything. Can you imagine if he come to the realization?
He knew nothing about Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
that's hidden
true.
from him.
Can you imagine if he realised he existed in a world of vampires?
Don't forget, part of Doctor Strange's and the sorcerers as a whole, part of their job is to hide the mystical world. They keep the vampires and all that hidden.
Right.
No one knows about them.
Fair enough.
So that is part of their job.
They could swing it, I suppose.
And like I said before, it might...
What about Blade meeting Thor? Would they get on?
Well, don't forget,
Sorry, I'm just fanboying here, but go on.
When it comes to the MCU, Blade might not have always existed, and the X-Men might not have always existed. They could be byproducts of
Thanos's...
Well, of Iron Man's snap and...
or Hulk's even.
Yeah, Hulk's, because Hulk is famous for saying in the end of Endgame, spoiler alert, he actually says he tried to snap several times. Right. Off camera, we didn't see. So who knows what damage he did to people.
Yeah.
By accident, I want to bring Tony Stark back forever, accidentally just made
Tony
vampires.
Stark, yeah.
People that won't die.
Wow, very interesting.
And he's got the time stone, so it could have ruined the timeline. It's a weird one to think about, but who knows? It could be a clusterfuck.
I think that's the main concern I have, because they've done such a brilliant job with the MCU this last,
10 years.
10 years,
10 years, I want to say.
Yeah, 11, 12 years now, almost.
And I kind of like the way DC is going now, though. With that Joker movie and everything. So how does this fit into the DCEU? Wait, it doesn't. It's just a one-off. What do you mean it doesn't? No, it doesn't. And apparently they want to do loads of movies like that.
See, they've done the opposite into what I like. They've completely 180'd in what MCU were doing. They're creating these one-off. Do you know what I mean? It's like we're the MCU have gone to another extreme, but just the opposite way around.
The MCU spent 10 years building a universe.
Oh, that's not a bad thing.
And
yeah,
DC tried to build an entire multiverse movie franchise in 2 movies because they were 10 years behind, and it failed. So now they've taken a step back and they've gone, right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to bring out some single movies.
Yeah.
They've still got that DCEU, which DC actually didn't make. It was a joke in one article somewhere.
Yeah.
And then movies like The Joker, they're going to do several of them like a Black Label universe. They're just character studies from old days of the movie is just about that one character, Joker, and whatever else. They're not connected, and then they're slowly building this DCEU. So they've got Aquaman got a lot of stick, but I actually enjoyed it more than most.
I think, to be honest with you, with Aquaman especially,
it was like watching National Treasure, if you get me.
Yeah, I think it received too much negative criticism. I don't think it was as bad as people were making out it was, to be honest with you.
I don't think it was bad as Batman v Superman. The thing with the DC Universe movies, I don't know about you, but I liked Man of Steel.
Yeah.
I liked Aquaman.
Yeah.
I liked Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I like Wonder Woman.
I didn't like Justice League, and I didn't like Batman v Superman.
No,
I like all these because it's just weird. I don't know if it's directed badly or.
So why do you think in the cinematic universe DC didn't win? Do you know what I mean?
They tried
Because they have got, to be fair, Marvel have done a better job. No one can dispute that.
Yeah, but think about it.
But DC's got all the birds and whistles.
DC, they made, the first one they made was Batman v Superman, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So they tried to make a crossover movie they made Man of Steel.
Yeah.
Then Batman v Superman movie. They tried to make an entire crossover things. That Batman v Superman we should have had a Superman, a Wonder Woman, a Batman, then the Batman v Superman. I know
good.
Everyone knows who Batman and Superman are. These are some of the most iconic things. They're akin to Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
But, I mean, hey, they're worth more money than anyone realises. So they just thought they could hit the ground running and get that Marvel money, but they can't because this is in different interpretations of the characters.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
This Batman that Ben Affleck played was supposed to be the aged Batman like what I showed you. He's already dealt with all his villains. In that universe, he's already had Jason Todd die, one of the Robins. He's already taken all his best villains.
Wow.
So, what'd you do?
Yeah.
If it was me making it, I would have... I know it's not like an amazing... But it was in recent years. I would have made a Batman movie where he's been around a bit. He's got Robin with him all over. Give him some supporting casts. And I would have done the Court of Owls story.
Yeah, they did that in Gotham.
Yeah.
I'm sure they played with that. But yeah.
Because the Court of Owls always exists. And that's a good thing to start with. And Man of Steel was a good movie. And Wonder Woman, we're getting a sequel. Aquaman, we're getting a sequel.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're not getting a Man of Steel sequel because he's not being the character anymore. Henry Cavill.
Will we see more Batman? I mean, I know because of the Robert Pattinson's taking on the
Robert
role.
Pattinson
is he still existing in the DC?
I don't know the state of the DCEU. I've only recently just started catching up on DC Comics.
Yeah, so have I, to be honest with you.
DC is sort of falling behind, and I do get it because they desperately needed to update because a lot of their characters are quite dated.
Yeah.
These are characters made in the 40s?
Yeah.
Whereas Marvel is only... In fact, Marvel is turning 80 years old.
Wow.
Also, that just reminds me, on Friday the 13th of this month, September, Scooby-Doo turned 50 years old.
Wow.
And you know, yep.
The irony is there.
Scooby-Doo turned 50. And what, a Great Dane lives, half of that?
Yeah.
Well, not even. How long does a Great Dane live? 10 years?
Yeah, not long. No. Sadly to say.
Great dogs, I love them.
It's
how many of them dogs are now called Scooby-Doo though?
I dread to imagine.
Scooby-Doo is one of them... I know I'm going off a tangent, but I just want to say one thing.
No, say what you want, it's all sure.
I realised something about Scooby-Doo. It hit me a couple of weeks ago. Scooby-Doo is one of them cartoons that my granddad watched.
Yeah.
So I could talk to him about, or at least he knows about. My parents watched it. Every generation of your family at some point has watched Scooby-Doo.
Don't surprise me. It's
weird, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is, yeah.
But anyway, we'll talk about something different now. What do you want to talk about?
Well,
I'm out of ideas.
I said, given that this is a backup episode...
I don't like that name.
Backup episode.
We'll call it a surprise.
Surprise episode, then.
Surprise! Just for, if if one of us is on holiday
A
or
Spurport episode. No.
Obviously. You've got a child on the way, so you might not be able to do it one week. So we just thought we'd
Very
just
true.
get this in hand.
Very true. We could explore a little bit about ourselves. For the listeners who might want to know a bit more about us, like we could share information that, we're not hesitant to, maybe. So I think we should start.
No, because if they know what we're really like, they'll stop listening.
Just tell us some engaging life stories of our past. We'll start off with you, so I can think of one. And I'm putting you on the spot.
Wow, put me on the spot there.
Yeah, I was more thinking that if you don't mind me saying this, if this doesn't end up on the uncut DVD, you
wait, we're getting a DVD deal.
if we ever hit mainstream, you never know. We could be a lot more. Touch wood, I'd like to think we would. A bit more successful. We could be putting this on at a time when we have our own studio, we have a little fan
I
base.
wouldn't mind. I mean, I know it's way far off, but I would really love to be able to, and this just shows the level of people we are, because we've spoke about it before.
Yeah.
We want to be able to get big enough that we can do things for charity.
Yeah.
That was actually one of the first things we talked about.
Yeah, it was, funnily
a
enough.
charity that's really close to me is quite a weird charity. It's actually Ribchester Roman Museum.
Yeah.
Because I helped out there at a bad time in my life, and
Yeah.
I went to visit there the other day, and they are actually kept alive by donations and things. So it's we want to be able to help charity, and also the Autistic Society and
cancer research even.
So we're not actually even doing this we're doing this so we've an hour a week.
Yeah.
We just don't have to think of anything.
No.
And hopefully, what sort of views would make you happy? Because I'm happy at 60. I want it to grow.
Do you know what? Right, yeah.
I want to be able to look and be like, wow, there's 1,000 people.
Do you know what? I'm gonna level with you now.
Well, there's 200 people.
I'm gonna level with you now. Obviously, I would be lying if I said I wouldn't want my channel to grow. And of course, I think it's safe to say we both want our channel to expand and to do things we wouldn't otherwise be able to do.
Yeah.
If anyone says any different on a YouTube channel, they're talking bollocks. Of course we want that.
We do actually have YouTube video ideas.
But at the same time, though, do you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. If this just turned out to be a weekly thing and we just got 60 viewers week in, week out, I can live with that. I don't know about you, but I could genuinely live with that.
I can, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think that'll happen. I don't think I'm being too optimistic here, but I think we will grow. I think that is inevitable.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
But
if it didn't, it didn't.
Yeah, if it didn't, it didn't. I'm enjoying this. I'll be doing this for weeks and weeks to come.
Yeah, absolutely.
Until I get kicked out of this house.
No one will do that, I assure you. But no, what I was more referencing is that I noticed one week when we was recording, and it wasn't until after the proverbial and literal microphone was switched off, we had an engaging conversation, and it was about you. If you don't mind me saying this, your mum and dad was in the pub game.
Yeah,
and
for 20 years. I grew up.
And I just found some of the tales you were telling me really interesting.
Oh. So pub stories.
Begin.
I'm not a dog. Yeah,
talk. So, do you have any tales that you would think would enlighten the listeners or just entertain them?
Well, for anyone that isn't that way inclined or doesn't believe in them, I have lived in really old buildings, some of which were old courthouses. So I do believe in maybe the possibility of the supernatural and ghosts.
Just let me get my X-Files. Go on, I'm not taking the mic, honestly.
Stuff has happened that you can't easily explain away. Like you see, or the dog refusing to go in certain rooms, or you see things or you hear things. Now, so I have some cracking ghost stories. And I have one.
I love a good ghost story. Come on. Since we're talking about Blade, how appropriate to delve into the supernatural.
Blade doesn't deal with ghosts. How does Wesley Snipes stab a ghost?
Well, it's supernatural, isn't it?
You're gonna die, motherfucker. Shit, I can't kick it.
So anyway, delving into the supernatural, that could be.
So this isn't a ghost story, but it is. You'll see what I mean. So we had this pub down in Tunbridge Wells.
Yeah.
And we had this guy behind the bar, and I was quite young, and this bar staff was like, "Could you go down to the cellar and just go with like Tom, and like this was my dad, and just bring up some bottles. And this guy behind the bar, who's a local, and we're not filling up. No. So what's wrong? I'm not going down the cellar. It's haunted. Right. Okay. Go down to the cellar. Stop messing around. I'm your boss. I'm your landlord.
Who's he saying this to?
My dad is saying this to the bar staff.
Right.
So go down. No. It's haunted. It's haunted. So it's like, right, all right, Thomas, go down there, get it. And then this bar staff guy's like, fine, I'll go. You can't let your kid go down there by yourself. Now, for those that want me to set the scene, the cellar of this pub was amazing. The entire pub was built on an old Victorian street. And when they made the cellar, they just built up, which means the cellar was a cobblestone street with 2 shop front facades. It was a sweet shop and a barber. And the sweet shop still had the jars of sweets in from Victorian time, and they still had some of the barber stuff. And it was amazing. I loved that cellar.
Wow.
So we go down. I walk down these stairs in the dark, and these people, or this bar staff, and I just turn around, and I'm holding this like box of beer that I've picked up to bring upstairs to my dad to like help stock before school. And you got this man, and he must have been about 6'2", 6'3".
Right.
Long black hair, look covered in like rough, bad ink tattoos. You know the kind of
Yeah. Oh yes.
right? Scar on his face, and I'm coming down. Is that okay, spirits? Is that okay? And they called the ghost Charlie. Is that okay, Charlie? I'm coming down.
Mm.
I'm cutting now. I've never seen a man shit himself so much. But he walked downstairs, picked up a box of beer. Some condensation water dripped from the ceiling. He dropped the box of beer and ran out screaming. Now there's me, maybe a 10-year-old, watching this 6-foot-odd man covered in like essentially prison tattoos, like sort of waddle his way up creaky wooden stairs, laughing my ass off as my little the cellar door, and then right across maybe just a corridor between it. The kitchen's the other side. My mum stood there holding a toasted sandwich because we just did basic food in the pub. Yeah. Watching this man, terrified, shit himself, run upstairs. And my mum's first instinct was, "What did you do, Thomas? What did you... It wasn't me!" So literally, the bar staff refused to go into the cellar for fear it was haunted. And a lot of the times, they just turned on the lights and saw the reflection of themselves in these little shops. But no, you would have bar staff of whoever we had stand at the top of the cellar and shout down, "Is it okay if I come downstairs, Charlie?"
Was it badly haunted, though?
Oh, it was. The entire reason we moved up north is because my dad was sat downstairs in the bar one day and he was told, "It's okay. It's okay, John. You can move. If you move up north, everything will be alright." And my dad said, "Thank you," after feeling someone tap him on the shoulder and say it. And then my dad...
Someone tapped him on the shoulder, like...
And then my dad turned around and said, "Wait, who the fuck's here? Doors are locked." Looked around, no one's there. Look on the camera, my dad's at the bar, completely alone. But the camera was black and white, but you saw his hood and thing move because he had a leather jacket.
So someone was saying to him, "If you move up north."
And since we've moved up north, it's all been alright.
Was it bad though?
I used to come downstairs in the morning, and all the bottles and everything would be all over the floor. And when you go back and look at the cameras, because we had a security system in the pub. When you go back, the bottles just flew off by themselves. There was no, and now before anyone says anything, there was no train station near us that could have shaken it. We were not near a main road, and everything was flat. We spirit leveled it. So sometimes the bottles would just fly off with force, sometimes enough to break them on the other side of the bar. There was a room in that pub where the dog refused to go in. Little Jack Russell, pick her up, put her in the room. She goes full Jack Russell mode. Now, for anyone that don't know, this is fur on the back, fangs showing, legs spread. Like Jack Russell's, they have a mode.
Yeah. No,
I mean, you work with dogs, you know what I mean.
Yes, absolutely.
So there were happenings in that pub. You had baths sometimes running themselves or taps turning themselves on. There were weird things in that pub.
Wow.
And on the camera, the one I remember the most is on the camera. Occasionally, you would see someone sat at the bar. When my dad would run downstairs with a baseball bat, perfectly legal. It was a rounder's bat, actually.
Yeah.
The argument being you can't swing a baseball bat inside a house because it's too big. Rounder's bat, you can. doesn't hit the sides.
Bloody hell, man.
There would be someone sat in a bar, and all in grey, and when you go downstairs, Dad's just looking around, there's no one at the bar.
We're back.
Yep, that's enough of that. So, while talking about ghosts and stuff, we had major technical difficulties there.
We certainly did.
I don't know what happened.
I never thought.
What?
Oh, wow. Did you say the ghost? I'm not... You can ask my mum this. The ghost in the cellar of the pub you were just referencing were called Charlie.
That's what people called him, yeah.
Oh, no.
My dog's also called Charlie.
Oh, no. There was a guy... I should explain. This room... I never thought that much into it. This room was... it used to be someone's bedroom called Charlie.
I'm out.
And he said to haunt this house. You'll have to ask me, Mum. I just put two and two together then, because I was thinking maybe we're being visited, but I just thought, you don't know.
You don't know, maybe.
Oh, no.
Oh, man. This is going to be... This. If any of us...
Halloween.
Halloween thing. Do you know what my favourite part of Halloween was every year?
Go on.
It's not the trick-or-treating.
Yeah.
My favourite bit of Halloween was the Simpsons Halloween episodes. I haven't watched them in years, but do you remember them?
Yeah.
They were like loads of little stories, and they were some of the best because they were so off the wall.
Yeah. Oh, that is weird. And does that usually happen?
No, I think that's something to do with my laptop's memory, so I will have to go through it and just see what happened. But both my hard drives are empty. Who knows? I'll have to ask more technical-minded people. But
unless we was visited.
No.
Are we not getting rid of that possibility?
I will turn this car around.
So do we have to? We don't have to ring Yvette Fielding then.
Oh, I used to love Most Haunted. Did you ever watch any of those American shows? And they're so like, oh my god, there's spirits!
Yeah.
And you can see they got over the top, or it's so faked. Whereas Most Haunted is the most realistic one, and like damn near nothing happens. And yet it's so good to watch, like bald fellas.
No.
Like, oh.
Wow. But yeah, no, it's...
I used to love Most Haunted. And that vein of shows, especially in Americans, because it was so fake.
So any more pub tales then? That preferably that don't delve into the supernatural. We don't want to rattle Charlie's cage anymore.
We've had some like I have moved about 16 times, and each one's different pubs because my parents were troubleshooters, so ring up by a brewery or a landlord or something, come to the pub, clean it up in a rougher neighbourhood, whether it be those damn ruffians.
Right,
Like, when it's safer, we move on. And we had one. And it was St. Patrick's Day, and my dad is, like, very big in the Irish community. He always is. He loves them. Like, he's from that background. And we had a pub in London somewhere, I think it was. And it was St. Patrick's Day, and this man decided, after being barred, to, on St. Patrick's Day, run in the pub with a knife and scream, fucking pikeys. Now, I don't know if you've seen what happens to a man. Now, I'm sat at the bar because I sat at the bar with, like, colouring books for activity books or my Game Boy Advance SP, which I loved.
Yeah.
So much. And I don't know if you've seen what happens to a man's face when he runs in a place with a knife and about 30 people suddenly put their pints down and look at him, and he realises, with Morgan Freeman voice and rating, it was at this moment that he knew. And now, I don't know what happened to this man, but all I know is I remember him being dragged out by a couple of quite angry looking people.
Yeah.
And then there was screaming.
Oh, what do you reckon happened to him? Do you reckon he just got the pasting of his life?
I think this was, from what I can remember, not very nice. I mean, funny pub story here. We had a bar staff member somewhere in a pub called the Compton Arms in Brighton. Lovely pub.
Right, yeah.
And we had a bar staff member, and he said he watched the place for us. Like, so we thought it meant, well, fair enough, you watch it. No, he was literally watching the place. He was sleeping in the garden.
Wow. Oh,
in a train carriage we had in there.
Oh,
because there was an old tram line or something, and we still had one of the carriages in the pub's beer garden.
So sweet of him to say
yeah,
that.
I mean, it's because he was kicked out of his house and homeless, so he was sleeping rough out there.
Yeah,
but literally, he was watching the place.
Oh,
we had one pub. Now this one does make me laugh. We had one pub. It was really dilapidated. We had to try and get up to code, but the water system was weird. So the boiler was connected to the toilets.
Right.
Now,
Weird.
so you put the boiler on, you get boiling water. You are off that toilet before you flush because a jet of steam will come out like a volcanic fucking geyser.
That's an health and safety risk, that,
Oh, that
surely.
really is. But you know what's funny as well?
What?
He's coming home from school, sitting down at the bar, and like you hear the screams coming from toilets when someone is sat down and flushed. Predominantly the women's toilets. A lot of times the men, they've stayed sat down while they flushed, and
Some people do.
they've
yeah.
come out of there like a fucking blue ass fly. Sometimes not even pulled everything up. The fucking arse on fire. It was hilarious.
Oh no, man.
Oh
wow.
man, they got it fixed fairly quickly.
Yeah.
But no, it was quite funny. Like,
So I remember you were saying, if you don't mind me bringing this up, you know, your mum and dad was in the pub game for 20 years. You don't foresee a time that they'll go in it again because you reckon the pub game is dying.
The pub game is dying. Like, breweries occasionally do try and contact my parents, but it's just not worth it now.
It's not worth it.
Not with this. Plus, as much as I've got good memories of it, my parents don't, because, I mean, they didn't really see us. They were running the pubs at night, so we were just upstairs.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we were only upstairs, but still.
Yeah. What was that
Madeline
like
McCann was
up?
only upstairs.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, no. But yeah, what was it like growing up in the pub game, you know? Not having your mum and dad constantly around, was there a bit of freedom when you was a kid? Could you get away with more? Or...
I mean, you could. It was also kind of spoiled in a way because pubs would normally do well. My dad loved the life of the landlord. You're a pillar of the community.
Yeah.
Like, landlords were. And, like, a lot of times the issues they didn't involve the police. It was the landlords that sorted it out.
Yeah.
You know, there's a fight between two people. You're going to call the police and ruin these two people's lives over an argument when they were pissed. Nah, landlord sort it out.
So how would a landlord sort it, if you don't mind me asking that? Was it just you talk?
Ooh. that could depend. Like, I learned some life lessons there. If a man and a man are fighting, you can get in the middle, you can break them up, you can give them a free pint, and maybe they'll talk it out. If a woman and a woman fighting, yeah, maybe sentiment's getting away, but also you might need like a full-on like ballistic suit. They get protective. It's weird when two people are fighting. Yeah. If you get rid of one violently, the other one will get protective over them sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, I can imagine that. Yeah.
But now, growing up in the pub game, it was good. At the same point, it wasn't really a place to raise kids.
Can imagine. Yeah.
And I don't drink for the reason I was growing up in pubs. Everyone is always like, yeah, but why don't you drink? It's fun. Yeah, but everyone forgets the way I was brought up. I used to come home from school and there'd be someone that has been drinking since opening time, or come down late at night and that same man is there. And you'd see the person that has been drinking so much that his wife has left him. He's got no kids. He's got nothing but the bottle.
Yeah.
You'd walk in and you'd see 3 people at bar in various stages of alcohol through their life. You'd have the young person just drinking, someone that's been drinking, a couple, you know, comes home on his way home after work to have one and then go home. That's fine. Then you'd see someone that drinks 10, 20 pints a day and then staggers home. And the effect that has on it just put me off alcohol.
Can understand that.
I don't mind a drink with like mates every now and then, but I don't really go on nights out.
No.
One, it's too expensive.
Is it because of what you've seen growing up?
Yeah, I've seen the worst people. I've seen the drug abuse. I've seen the alcohol abuse. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Like, people each their own. I'm not bothered.
Yeah.
It's because growing up in pubs before the smoking ban, I can't smell fag smoke. So if people go out sometimes when I used to work other places or in school, if people go out and have a fag, I'm stood with the smokers. So, are you not bothered by the smell? What smell?
You can't. So when you've been out with me, because I smoke myself and I've had a cigarette.
It doesn't. Both my parents smoke. Like most of my family smoke. A lot of friends I've had over the years have smoked. Fag smoke doesn't bother me.
No.
Like, I have probably had so much secondhand smoke. My lungs are killing. Like, but no.
Not laughing at that. No, but
it's a weird.
It is a weird one. Yeah. Go on. You were saying. I cut you off there.
Yeah, growing up in pubs, it's not the. But I was fortunately enough. I've got 2 brothers who were younger than me, which means I got to lord over that I was older, and they did whatever I said. So I had a life of luxury with 2 servants. No. With moving around so much and having 2 brothers, it was good because obviously I had to move schools all the time, and I was constantly making friends and then having to. This was before Facebook and everything, so lose contact with everyone, make them again. I've got two. That's why I lose contact with people so easily. I never grew out of. I'm terrible at keeping in contact with people. So if someone's listening to this and I haven't spoken to you in years, it's not because I don't like you. It's just because I have no concept of time either. No, like we've done it. Me and Irvine actually hadn't spoken for years, and then we spoke.
Yeah.
And for me, it's like no time's passed, and then he had to point out, it's been like 10 years since we were at college, and I'm like,
will be. It's got to be. It's got to. Yeah, definitely.
I'm like that. It doesn't. If I was your friend at some point, I'm probably still your friend in my head.
No.
But no, I can easily go a year without talking to someone, and then when I see them again, for me, no time has passed.
Of course, yeah. No,
I'm just like that.
I think as well.
But with having two brothers,
that happens a lot to a lot of people. It's like, I hope she don't mind me name dropping her. It's like my mum, and she has quite a lot of friends. She never goes out though, and since she's retired, she really doesn't have a social life. Oh, please don't watch this episode, Mum. But no, she doesn't, and it's quite sad because her best friend is 2 blocks away, 2 streets away. That's her best. She has a best friend. I better not say where because I don't want people to really know where I live, complete strangers. But basically, her best friend literally lives 2 streets away from where I live. They haven't seen each other for years.
That's weird.
No, it is. It is when you think about it. Yeah. I tell a lie. When we're recording this now, she bumped into her the other day, and it was the first time in 2-3 years. So it just shows you're not the only one there, and they're still best friends. Yeah. It was like they just saw each other yesterday.
No time has passed.
Yeah, it's really
weird. That you think about it.
Yeah, of course. So I really don't think you're the only one.
But yeah, like I was saying, like we're growing up because I've got 2 brothers, and there's 4 years between me and a younger one, and 5 years between. Because whatever I liked or PS2. They liked it as well, so I've always had, and it saddens me that gaming is going away of getting rid of the couch co-op, because some of my favourite memories are player 2 has joined the game. Time splitters. Come on.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Definitely. So, I mean to say, this...
So I've never been lonely, basically.
No. So I get the impression we've sort of talked about it very, we've touched on it. College. Now, we both went to college. We both obviously met at college. Do you miss that college year? Or do you only tend to look back on it when you're with me? Because I think I've said something very similar. I think about it more when I'm with you. I don't really think about it that much.
I miss college just because it was nice. Every day you go in and see your friends. It's different than work, isn't it?
Of course it is.
It's more laid back. It's chilled.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, if I got paid to go to college, I'd happily go.
If you could. I only bring this up.
If you could
turn back time, exactly.
Thank you, Chef.
To that particular college year that you met me. Random question: is there anything you'd have done differently, or?
No, I think it was all right.
I think it was all right.
I maybe a few jokes I wouldn't have said.
Is this to a certain? Go on.
It was just a good college year.
It was.
I mean, looking back, I think we were.
Do you know what?
Sense of humour.
I was thinking about it the other day. It was actually a question I wanted to say, but since we're doing the episode, we're exploring about ourselves. We're going to give something to the listeners about us. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So
I'll give you something.
Oh God!
Do
you know what? The one thing I'd change, and I actually thought about it in depth quite a bit ago. It wasn't that long ago, but I think it was not long after I spoke to you. I'd have dressed up a bit more neater. Because I saw some of the photographs and I had this long, straggly hair. And I thought, yeah, I'd have changed that.
But at the same point,
I'd have looked more presentable.
16, 18, you just...
17.
Yeah, you just don't really care what anyone
No,
thinks,
you don't.
You
don't. But no, yeah, I think that's the only thing I'd change.
I would have removed that comment from my memory about that coat.
The coat?
Behind B&Q. Basically, I had this black coat and then... Everyone was like, oh, that's a nice coat. And then I'm sat there and Irvine in class is quiet. And he goes, yeah. And then he told, like, a very seedy story about something that happened to this coat. And now I don't want to go into this.
Yes.
But I didn't wear that coat again. And I fucking loved that coat.
Oh, God. Is it with a certain ex-girlfriend of mine? I'm not saying names.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. I think I know which. I don't mind telling you about it, but yeah, it happened.
Let's not go into it. But still.
Oh, no. It put you off wearing that coat? Yeah. You're joking?
Nah, and I got a new one. That's the story I'm sticking with. But
Oh dear. So yeah, it was a good year.
It was, but let's talk about something else.
What would you like to know?
I've mentioned it before.
Well,
I want to talk about the time. So this podcast
yes,
almost didn't get made several times because we ran into several issues.
I was a prisoner of war.
Now there was a time where Irvine was a prisoner of war.
Yeah.
There was a time where you just plain cancelled on me something. I think at one point my mum was ill, so I couldn't do it.
Yeah, she
was. I had work. There were all kinds of stories there, but please elaborate on the prisoner of war.
Well, basically what it was, before we did this podcast, obviously, we met a couple of times for coffee and we discussed what we'd want to, how we'd do it, where we'd do it, when we'd start. And unfortunately, as though unbeknownst to Tom, I sadly cancelled on him the first couple of times, and one of the reasons was...
I thought he was just avoiding me. No, seriously, I thought, shit, maybe he doesn't want to do this.
No, basically, one of the times was my brother locked me in, which was quite annoying because he didn't come back until the following evening, but I was locked in. I couldn't... So Tom's expecting me in Blackburn for a coffee, and I can't be there because I can't leave the building. It turned out was there an open window I could have climbed out. There was something I could have actually had done, but I thought, well, I don't really want to break my fucking legs, to be honest with you.
Yeah, like...
But unbeknownst to Tom, bless him, he probably thought I was completely coming up with one excuse after the other.
Yeah,
and
there
the
were
reality
several.
of the situation was it genuinely wasn't that. One thing did crop up. I was either working or was... Do you know what I mean? There was always something, but we eventually did it. It was, And
then you found out you were having a baby, and then, it was postponed for another week, and...
Yeah.
Oh. So, yeah, this nearly didn't get made, because I was getting to the point where, well, maybe he's just, fobbing me off.
The baby one was a good excuse, though.
Oh, it was.
Finding out you got someone pregnant, and pictures to prove that I wasn't just talking out my ass, but yeah. But, poor guy, but we eventually got there.
Yeah, I mean, it took us long enough. And I think, I've said it before, but every time we've finished a podcast, we've actually said, I think that was better than the last.
Yeah.
We do seem to be weirdly
We seem to get
improving.
better and better, don't we? We do seem to get better and better. Putting me on the spot. Never such wiser words ever been made. So, what was we just talking about just then? We were talking about...
Just getting... For those... It's not... You've made it so obvious that we just have a parting break there.
We just had a break,
we
shall we
had a little
say.
break. But... Yeah, no. We were just talking about how we are enjoying that we are getting better and better at it.
Yes, that
I
was
have been
it,
told.
yeah.
I mean, obviously, thanks to a previous episode, I've also now been told several times, you need to watch all of Harry Potter. So, no, I don't want.
Need to watch
I
Harry
don't
Potter.
want to sit there and binge watch
Who
every
told
movie.
you that? Who said that to you?
I've had a couple of American friends say it. I've had you say it. Several people have been like, you need to watch all of Harry Potter. We're gonna binge watch every movie.
Oh wow!
Nah, I'm all right, thanks.
You seem to be quite avoiding it. Is there any particular reason why, or
because I don't need to watch all of them because I watched most of them, so I just maybe the last two.
Can't get any further than that.
Yeah.
What else was I going to say to you? So yeah, have you got any other enlightening life stories to share?
I think we've spoken enough about me, and now it's your turn.
Well, I tell you what, this could be the segment of this particular specialised
child-friendly.
episode. Whoa! Ask me anything. I was going to ask you.
In fact, there's just a random break there now, an awkward silence. Yeah, no, talk about what you want. I'll just remove this.
I'll just remove this, he says.
Weird silence.
Oh, wow. No, I was going to say, is this nothing you want to ask me, or?
No,
You've known me for 9 years, and you've got no questions in your head?
I mean, you pretty much know everything. I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to think of who you look like when you're in college. There is someone.
I will have to get a picture, but it's unpleasant. I hate it. I'm not going to lie to you. I know I briefly talked about it, but a lot of the photos I had, I was like, fucking hell, did I really look like that?
A lot of the photos.
Seriously.
A lot of the photos.
You look the same.
Yeah, I don't age. I'm
you're
actually from Gallifrey.
You honestly look the same. I'm misrepresenting the argument.
I do look
You can tell
older.
you've aged. Not
Yeah.
in a, but the Keanu Reeves type of way. You know, you got the stubble. We're able to grow
I
that.
get rid of all of this.
Yeah.
And I look a lot younger. It's why I don't. And I have long hair now. If I have
You had longer then, didn't you?
Not as long. Well, maybe as long as this.
Yeah.
If I have really short hair and stubble, I look really young. And I got ID'd for an energy drink.
When? How recent? Come on.
About 2 weeks ago.
That's a good thing though. That probably says that you'll probably age gracefully. I can imagine you being 50, looking pretty much the same.
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
Whereas me, God knows what I'll look at 50.
Oh God, no.
I dread to imagine what I will look at 50.
Probably about the same as you do now, just like
Tension.
well, I mean, maybe the plus net man.
Don't
worry.
I've seen worse.
You used to get called that in college.
Yes, I did.
Much.
Buzznet man.
I have a friend who I used to work with. Don't think I've spoken in quite a while, but who used to call me Keanu Beeves because I look like a mixture of Keanu Reeves and the scientist Brian Cox.
And you also sound a bit like him and all, to be honest with you.
Now,
I can see where he's coming from.
As much as I like both of them, Keanu Beeves, really?
Who nicknamed you that?
When I used to work at a certain hated company, I'm not name dropping them.
Oh, okay.
I worked with someone and they were like, "Who do you look like?" And I was like, "Well, I've been told a lot. I look like in high school, a lot of people said I look like Brian Cox, and then when I got older, people were like, "You look a tiny bit like Keanu Reeves." And I was like, "Oh, thanks." And then it just merged.
Keanu Beeves. Oh wow! Was it a nickname that stuck in the workplace?
Yes.
Oh no.
Yeah, it did. I was even in some people's phones as Keanu Beeves.
Wow. But no, so there's nothing you'd like to know about me that you might not have known previously?
Well, I mean, just go for it and talk.
Well,
I'm terrible at asking
in 2004, I started secondary school. So I left and graduated.
You're not very good at this, are you?
Not really, no, not on the spot. I'm not the most intuitive human being.
Okay, well, tell me, why did you want to do this podcast? Because
Okay,
I
we'll
wanted
start
to
from
do
there.
it just for like an hour doing something
I'm
with
incredibly
a friend.
intuitive in certain ways.
And I
but,
really like
yeah.
nerdy stuff.
I think it was the sole reason, if you had to define which particular reason why I want to do this, is in a bizarre way to show the world who we are, to make that footprint, and make something that doesn't necessarily have to be popular right here and now. I'm loving what we're doing for the simple reason being, no matter what will happen to us, touch wood, hopefully nothing sinister anyway, but
Yeah.
what I like the notion of the internet overall, that whatever happens to us after we recorded this episode could be, this will always be there. So people in years and years' time
your
could
kid
always look back. My kid, that's what I'm going to
could
bring
look
up.
back.
So that my footprint will always be here now.
But
Once you've
also-
uploaded on the internet, that's it.
There is something I actually want to ask. I've just thought about.
Go on.
Obviously, we've been told we speak about Doctor Who too much.
Yeah.
And you have a big love of sci-fi. Now,
I do.
my love of sci-fi things comes from a rather nice place. But
Yeah.
why does Doctor Who and Star Trek resonate with you? Why are you such a big sci-fi fan?
Because I could be so blasé and jaded with this answer and say, well, it's just something I like. But if you want an in-depth answer, the only way I can answer that is,
Yeah, well, some people
I was
are like
exposed to
horrors.
It was the first thing I understood and learnt to love. Really, was Star Trek. I was exposed to Star Trek. I started watching it. No one usually believes this, but my mum, I can't really remember. But my mum, I first went into care at an exceptionally young age. But my mum always says, my foster mum, who I refer to as my mum, is my foster mum. But when she was when she started looking after me, she always says one of the first things I started to enjoy or noticeably enjoy was when Star Trek: The Next Generation was on Sky
I grew up
One.
watching that with my dad.
Yes, so
It's such a good show.
and she says it was the only show that I would sit and watch. Other shows like Postman Pat, the shows that I didn't like. Funnily enough, apparently I liked Fireman Sam, but it's Fireman Sam. But Star Trek was one of those shows.
But it's like it's the greatest thing in the world.
But it's Fireman Sam. How can you not like the opening theme tune? Apparently, I tended to like with Fireman Sam. But yeah, going back in the conversation a little bit was
because you have
Trek.
like just looking around your room. He's got box sets of like Stargate, SG-1, and Babylon 5, and we've spoken about sci-fi a lot. So you're just such a big sci-fi fan. I just wonder
huge.
Where does that? So do you reckon
I think it originated from Star Trek. Yeah,
I would
have. Huge, definitely.
Because even
no doubt about it.
Like the sort of like we both have a deep love of Metroid. The game.
Yeah, but for me that's nostalgia. Yeah.
Whereas I just think it's one of the greatest
It's a brilliant
sci-fi
game,
games,
but
like
yeah.
Super Metroid.
Just
Yeah,
because it's a
Metroid.
nostalgia effect doesn't question the credibility of it.
No, I mean it's still one of the greatest games of all time, as voted by a
absolutely.
list of great. It's
Yeah.
also ahead of its time in terms of female protagonists.
When it comes to gaming, if you want to talk about what I grew up with, I'll never forget that. I still remember it very vividly when I was exposed to Sims. The very first PC. Well, not the very first PC game, but the very first Sims game was for PC.
Yeah.
And I remember buying it, and the concept of creating people and giving them lives. It sounds boring. If that was at a drawing, hello, what's this game? Well, it's about life.
You just
and
sort of
have
watch
to
them
pay
do
bills.
stuff.
Yeah,
And no, it's Sims is one of the games I've never actually owned, but I've always had played on if I go around a mate's house or something. And you remove the ladder so they drown. Yeah.
So you have the God complex there. I loved. Did you ever play any of the Civilization games?
No, but my brother's big into them, and
Yes.
obviously,
see, I'm huge
with
on
me,
them as well.
I'm a big gamer. I love gaming. I love gaming history, and I know people like, oh, but you don't play this, and this, so so you're not a real gamer. It's like, well, okay, it's all right you say that, but can you like list me every Castlevania game in order?
I only ever played one.
Why?
Game.
You like I hate when it's like, oh yeah, I like Metroid games. I played Metroid Prime. It's my favourite. So you never played any of the previous ones? No, but you're a big Metroid fan. Yeah, that's like saying, oh yeah, I love Star Trek, like Next Generation. I started from season 3. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, that annoyance. But to be fair,
you feel like an old man. So now listen here, kid. Back in my day.
Oh, dear. But to be fair, though, it's random you should use that analogy. I know it's beside the point. Season 3's arguably got to be amongst the best Star Trek going. Picard it's the season finale where Picard gets assimilated by the Borg.
Yeah.
And did you know, going back, I say last week's, but this is the episode in case there isn't an episode, But did you know Deep Space Nine, it starts off at the Battle at Wolf 359 where Picard got assimilated by the Borg, and that's where it started off, because it explains why Sisko's wife died because of Picard. Bet you didn't know that.
I don't remember Deep Space Nine.
Oh, you gotta try and watch.
I might watch it again.
Yeah, but it is good. I can't believe how much the time's gone.
I know. Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean,
has it really been an hour?
And do you know what? I really kind of hope that other people listening, time goes this quickly for them as it does for us when we're talking. But I don't think it will. But hey, I mean, I'm gonna have to do it. Like, share, comment, subscribe, ring the bell.
Ring that. Please like us, please.
I mean, honestly, the biggest thing you can do to help us is comment underneath on the YouTube or share it.
Yeah, and if you've got any criticisms, feel free to comment. We aim to please. I know that's a bit of a cliched statement, but it's true.
We do want to improve. We actually genuinely enjoy this. We already agreed at the minute we don't have ads on or anything, so this is just a hobby. If you enjoy it, share it. Sharing helps. If you know someone that maybe, because we both are kind of, I'm heavily dyslexic with dyspraxic tendencies. Irvine has Asperger's.
I'm autistic with dyspraxic tendencies.
So if you know someone who maybe they don't talk very much, they're really nerdy, they've got autism, they're related to you, maybe send us.
Yeah.
Like on Facebook or something. Like,
absolutely, man. Couldn't agree more.
That's sort of...
Yeah.
We're just a voice in the background for some people.
Just random question now. I'm asking my colleague here, out of pure speculation. Now, you get more... I get certain feedback, but people tend to come to you when it comes to feedback. What demographic is attracted to us the most? Because you get quite a bit of feedback, don't you?
I only get feedback from about 3 or 4 people, so it's
No.
not quite a lot. But we can always check the analytics in the YouTube thing. But our target audience, or the people that we seem to attract, are all either your friends or my friends. So far we don't really have... Hopefully
ranging from 20 to 40 age range.
We are getting between, like, I'd say 18 to 29-year-olds, maybe 30. I mean, let's face it, we're just 2 people. We don't really know what we're doing, and we're just rambling about
we're
sci-fi.
having fun, and I think that's the main thing.
Yeah, I mean, if something newsworthy happens in nerd culture, someone dies, we normally talk about that. Like,
absolutely.
Going to show when this is recorded, but the controversy right now about PlayStation, have you heard it? The X and the Cross.
No, I don't actually.
So, PlayStation UK, the buttons on the PlayStation controller are triangle, circle, square. So why do you call that X? X is a letter. That's a cross.
I've always called it an X.
Yeah. So people have been arguing about it, and people have been saying, well, no, it's X. I've always called it X. And then people have found, as far back as PS1, some instruction manuals say X, some say cross. Xbox has waded in. Well, yeah, but ours is all letters, and we've got X, so yours must be cross. So literally, it has actually caused a slight divide between some people actually call it. I've always called it X.
Personally, I've always called it X.
But some people call it cross.
X, is it it's obviously it's a letter, but can it be construed as a shape? Because people would refer to an X shape as an X.
Yeah, so it's a weird one. It was PlayStation UK, and they seem to have accidentally caused, not controversy, but they've got themselves enough, like, some publicity there for free.
Yeah.
It's a weird one. Like, do you know anyone that calls it X or cross?
I've never heard it being called a cross. I know, officially I've heard it being called a cross, but if I'm talking to a friend, and we're talking about PlayStation and the
it's like press X.
We'd always refer it to press X.
But even in the instruction manual, sometimes they don't say it.
Yeah.
You'll notice that sometimes
they just use the actual symbol.
Yeah, sometimes it will actually say triangle, square. Most times the X, it's just got the picture of the X.
That's weird. Anyway, I think we should wrap up.
Yes.
But thank you as always for listening to us.
Yes, I've been Tom Koala. Never gonna sit right with me.
I have been Dancingbear, your autistic prince, and as always, the mad scientist of creative writing.
Why mad scientist?
Well, why not? I just think it sounds cool.
Yeah. Yeah.